Hello, comrades. This is Carlos Garrido from Midwestern Marx. There are three fundamental conditions that are needed for a revolution to take place: objective, subjective, and organizational. By objective conditions, what we mean is the economic situation. When capitalism is going through its periodic moments of crisis, the first and the hardest hit are always the workers and the peasantry. It is in these moments that these popular classes are more disposed to revolutionary activity. For instance, the pink wave in Latin America emerges in the peak moments of crisis produced by decades of neoliberal capitalism. Although objective conditions have been treated as synonymous to the economic situation, I argue the political superstructural realm can also play a part in creating moments of political crisis which aid in the opening up of the conditions for the possibility of a revolutionary sentiment in the masses. For instance, a pre-revolutionary Cuba under the Batista dictatorship faced the sorts of political crisis which amplified, or with Althusserian language we can say overdetermined, the existing central contradictions that were present in the economic realm, which kept the mass of Cubans in conditions of wretchedness. So in this case, we can say that this political crisis was able to intensify the objectively revolutionary conditions present because of the economic contradictions. Secondly, you have the subjective conditions, which refer specifically to the development of class consciousness. As I mentioned in my class consciousness video, this isn't simply a recognition of one's class position in the relations of production, but an awareness of the historical character of the existing class relations. Understanding that social relations today are not natural and universal, but instead the result of historically transformative relations between classes opens one up to the understanding of their fundamental mutability. It is practically impossible to conceive of transforming something you think has always existed. Now, recognize the nature of that thing as fundamentally transitory, and the possibility for changing it emerges. The subjective conditions for revolution then refer to the masses' understanding of the historical character of the existing relations, and subsequently to the fact that changing these relations is in their power. Lastly, you have the organizational conditions. These conditions refer to the duty the most conscious in the working masses have to mobilize and organize so that when those objective conditions arrive, the structures, the communities, and the connections are present so that the subjective conditions can emerge as well. The discontent that arises in the masses during moments of crisis are usually able to naturally produce some form of dissenting activities. Without revolutionary consciousness, that is, without the subjective conditions, these spontaneous eruptions from the discontent masses are either squashed very quickly or they end up being diffused by reformism. To take advantage of the objective conditions, a party of the most conscious workers needs to exist so that, if organized properly, it can take advantage of these convulsions from the dissatisfied masses that come about in moments of crisis and take them beyond reformist short-sighted ends and towards their historically endowed revolutionary role.